Hey, go away. I don't want to fight, okay? Just go away.
Blue, this person is our friend. He's here to help. Stop shaking, you baby.
Oh, Karen, you are so mean. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
I was worried about Blue, so I followed you. I really think he's hopeless. I'm disappointed in you, Blue. Help! Help! Blue! Max Stone!
That's Karen's voice.
Sorry, I gotta get the item first. No, I'll get it later. It's a Shower of Cure. Very powerful item. Basically, it's a free Aura 4 cast. Yeah. Free heal on all my party members. Well, Dragon, if you want to save this girl, open that shrine door. Blue, don't listen to him. Remember that you're a sacred dragon. Karen, no. What are you going to do about it, crybaby dragon? Blue spews fire.
Ah! Ah!
Fire. Ah! I'm not very confident yet, but I'll try my best. Blue joins the Shining Force. He's good. He takes a little bit of tender loving care, but his defense actually wasn't too bad, so I put him in the next battle. A little bit of tender loving care with him, but I think he'll end up being a permanent party member. You still get him in time to work on him, I think. Like, unlike there's a robot you get later that's kind of ridiculous. Blue is such a crybaby. He's not like all the other dragons. Poor Blue.
Ah, remember me, Max Stone? Kane of Runefaust. Ready for your last fight? Go back to your headquarters and get ready. Then you'll meet your doom.
So it seems Kane has some honor. Just like Elliot. He's gonna let me get my force up. Here we go.
Ha! I knew you couldn't hide in there forever. Come on out, little hero.
Max Stone, be careful. Remember that Kane killed Varios. Kane is ridiculous. His attack is crazy. It's like 60. Whereas like the highest enemy besides that's like a 35 attack. Basically he can one-shot anyone. So you pretty much have to just go balls to the wall when you decide to go after him. He can one-shot anyone. With the exception of Kane, this fight's not too bad. I think those are golems there. They have really high defense, and they hit okay. But the main thing is just their damn defense. Some of my guys only do like 1 damage to them. It's ridiculous. Kane has pretty good defense too, but his attack is insane. He has the sword of darkness, but it's because he has 2 weapons equipped. And there's some gargoyles up north, which aren't too much of a problem. I'll eventually send Blue up there. I don't have Blue in this one because, I guess a little bit of a spoiler alert. I fail this round, but I do eventually kill him, but I fail. And basically, Max Stone got too close, and Kane went for the kill. Kane can one-shot anyone because of his awesome attack. So the next battle, I got rid of Lau the healer and brought in Blue and worked on Blue a little bit on these gargoyles. Because I figured that the healers, if enemies can one-shot you, there's no point in healing. Healing just isn't going to matter if an enemy can one-shot you. So you just got to go after him when you can. So just a couple gargoyles in the north, some master mages and golems. I think those are, what are those called? Golems? Figure out what they are in a minute. Kokichi. Yeah, Kokichi. Kokichi was kind of weak in this fight. They're called golems, okay. I wasn't sure if they were like sand golems or just golems. the gargoyles, they do a spell called Muddle, which I think is supposed to confuse you, but as far as I can tell, Muddle has never done anything. Like, even when it's successful, and my character successfully muddled, it hasn't done anything. Like, I've still been able to attack normally and everything. I'm guessing there's a chance that your guy will attack, like, your own guys, because usually that's what Confuse does in RPGs. Muddle/Confuse is it'll make your guy randomly attack your own party. Not always, but sometimes. But so far I haven't seen where Muddle does anything, and half the time when the gargoyles use it, they miss. So, hey, that's fine with me. They'd be much more effective if they just stuck with their regular attacks, but if they want to waste time doing Muddle, that doesn't work anyway. That's fine with me. Chris, I don't know if this round or the next round, but she'll learn a spell called Quick, which is pretty good. It enhances defense and agility for so many rounds. If you learn Quick too, you can basically boost your entire force before you go into battle and increase their defense and agility. It's a pretty good spell. I learned the level 1 version, which can only be a target on one person. But... So I made some promotions. I think I made, I promoted Gort. And I'll be more promotions after this battle. Probably a waste of magic. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well. I had Blue work on these gargoyles in the second round. Well, one Shining Force character that really proved his worth is Lyle. Lyle can hit from 3 spaces away, and because of the enemy AI, like, if you don't go up to the platform where KANE is, he won't attack. So I had Lyle just slowly pick off the Durham, or whatever those things are that are pretty nasty, and the Master Mage that's up there. And the healer up there is so stupid. Like, the healer, like, if I do 1 point of damage to KANE, the healer will use heal level 4 on KANE, which is a total waste. So the enemy AI, fortunately, just isn't that great. And, yeah, the enemies would not come down the stairs to come fight me unless I was on the stairs or above it. So... yeah, those golems have really high defense, so they are kind of vulnerable to magic, though. But you need really powerful attacks to do much to them, just because they have such high defense. All that fanciness and you still miss. Go, Lao. What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, I decided to try slow for some reason. Of course, it didn't hit. Like, you gotta have reliability. If the spell's not gonna work, then what's the point? I could have easily done something else. And I'm not positive that... I never talked about this mechanic, but I'm pretty sure the way it works is every tick of the time it builds your agility score goes towards 100. And when it's 100, you can take your action. So, like, if you move and take an action, it goes to 0. But I think if you sit still and attack but don't move, it goes to 20. And if you just skip your turn where you don't move or you don't attack, it goes to 40. So your next turn will come up quicker. I think that's basically how it works. And depending on what you do and your agility score, it's possible an enemy or you could take 2 turns, and for every 1 turn something else takes. So if you have a high enough agility, you can potentially do a lot more turns overall. And all of that is abstracted and done really quick, and you know, you have no control over whose turn. I mean, you just see the cursor go to whoever, so you're not really thinking about it. And you have no way to plan ahead. I think in the remake they did for the Game Boy Advance, because they remade this game for the Game Boy Advance, it's called Shining Force Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. It's a remake. They added some story and improved the graphics, added a few more characters, and I think they also probably did a turn predictor where you could see whose turn was coming up for better planning. And not only that, but you could probably easily check enemy ranges and stuff to see if you were within striking distance or not, which is kind of a staple in tactical RPGs, where you can see the movement of your enemies to see if you're potentially strikeable or not. Which you can't really do that easily in this game. Like, you can to an extent, because you can look at what their move stat is and then literally count the moves, spaces with your cursor, which is tedious and annoying, but you can do it, but it's not automatic. But this game, it was not the first tactical RPG. There were some for the regular Nintendo and stuff, but I'd say that this is the first tactical RPG that put that genre on the map for sure. This is such a classic despite its faults, and this really paved the way for tactical RPGs. I mean, they're probably some of my favorite types of games, just combining strategy with a great story. Really fun games overall, and they're set up for just epic boss fights and stuff. So I love tactical RPGs, and what's interesting is I think the Japanese, like, they must have thought Americans were dumb or something, because the Super Famicom, which is basically the Super Nintendo that came out in Japan, it was called the Famicom, which stands for Family Computer. The Super Famicom, they had more tactical RPGs that were only released in Japan, and they never bothered to release them in America. So for some reason they just didn't release them in America. So of course there have been fan translations since to play those Japanese RPGs in the English language, but yeah, they didn't release them in America because they just figured that Americans wouldn't like that kind of stuff. But and to be fair, like, more people like first-person shooters and action games overall than these kinds of games that where you kind of have to slow down and think and stuff. It's not so action-packed. It's just more, it's basically chess, a game of chess. So it's a little bit slower paced than like an action game, but I have a lot of fun playing these games. They're pretty awesome. Oh yeah. Guess that's like a bazooka laser. I don't know. I know when he's promoted, it's pretty awesome. Like, it literally has an explosion, like it's a bazooka. It's pretty awesome. Right now, I guess it's like a bazooka that shoots lasers, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot, like, they really don't talk much about the backstory of this, but obviously we can figure out there was a technologically advanced civilization, which they're just called the Ancients. They were responsible, I think, for creating Dark Dragon, which is basically like a xenomorph. Dark Dragon destroyed the civilization. Unfortunately was sealed, but not before destroying everything. And remnants of technology are kind of scattered about. Like, we've got Guntz in his promoted suit of armor, basically power armor now. I love how he just rams the enemies. His sprite looks pretty cool too. Guntz ends up being a beast right up to the very end. He's definitely a character you don't want to miss. And Kokichi's pretty cool too, but I think Kokichi overall is weaker. When he's promoted, he actually looks kind of ridiculous promoted. You'll get to see what he's like promoted in other battles, but he looks ridiculous. Like, his attack is just so silly. Like, it's sillier than this. This looks normal, but when he's promoted, he like spins around and he just looks stupid. Whereas everybody else pretty much promoted, they just look awesome. They look more epic with their attacks. But Kokichi's the exception. He kind of looks stupider when he's promoted. Everybody else looks more badass and has a more badass, fancier attack. Except for good old Kokichi.
Oh yeah, Dwarven power, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Burn, Gollum, burn in holy fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just be doing voiceovers, I guess, for the rest of the battle. Yeah. There's only so much I can talk about, like the mechanics of the game and what I'm thinking and stuff. If you didn't catch it before, I plan on doing a mega episode to finish of battles 29 and 30 when I get there, the last two battles, which you have to fight back to back. Mild spoiler. Battle 29, you fight battle 29 and go straight into battle 30. And you can't egress from battle 30. If you do, you have to start over with battle 29. So you have to fight the last two battles back to back. I was planning to make an extra special episode with extra effects and everything. Try to make it as epic as possible. It's going to take me extra time. I want to see what I can do to finish strong. Yeah. Yeah. We have a couple more epic fights though. This is battle 19, so we still have like 11 battles. I guess 12 total if you count this one. I think it's 12 total counting this one. This is battle number 19, so we're getting there. We're over halfway. But some of these battles, of course, it gets more and more epic, and as you get to the end, and you'll face some really, well, I'll be facing some really interesting enemies soon. It's just going to keep getting more and more epic. Yeah. Oh, I want to mention this. So, there's powerful spears that I could buy in Rudo, I think it's called, where all the kids are. But you have to, the only promoted knights can use them. But what's a really good idea with the knights is you keep around the power spear and the lance so that they have the option, because you can equip different weapons on the fly, and it doesn't take up a turn to equip a different item or a weapon. So what you can do with the knights is you carry a lance and a spear, and that way, if you want, you have the option of making essentially a weaker, farther attack. So you can attack from 2 spaces away if you equip the weaker power spear, and that gives you the option of a ranged attack. So, and in some fights that's important. Being able to attack at range, you can't underestimate that, because you just get bottlenecked. And, yeah, Guns has a lot of defense, and he just got one-shotted. KANE is a freaking badass. God, he's freaking... He is what makes the fight hard. Not gonna lie, that's what makes the fight hard. The other enemies, they're not too bad, but KANE basically one-shots everything. And I made the mistake of bringing Max Stone too close. I should have just kept him back, which... I didn't make that mistake later. Well, Domingo gets an award for surviving. Damn. 1 HP. Way to go, Domingo. Dwarven yeah, you're an elite warrior. You can dodge really well, too. This guy is no joke. Magic, it'll hit him and damage him. It doesn't do that much. But at least magic's guaranteed to hit. That's why magic is so good in this game, because it's guaranteed to hit. Ugh. Ugh. Kokichi, no. No, Kokichi. Oh, yep, I was stupid.
Incoming.
Wild. It's weird that the priest is not getting in there to heal. Maybe he's out of magic points or something. AI in this game is kind of weird. Go, Arthur! Oh. Alright, hit him on the second round. Go Kokichi. Yeah. Well, so much for Tao. Yep. He can't really do anything. Everybody can be one-shotted, so the healers just aren't that valuable. funny. This website I looked at said that the... Ah, here we go. Alright, let's try again. So anyway, what was I saying? The Holy Staff, I thought it, according to this website I read, it was supposed, if you used it, it was supposed to be able to cast Blaze too. But when I used it, nothing happened, so I'm not really sure what it does. Maybe it just enhances healing powers or something. It's the staff that Chris is using, so yeah, I kept Max Stone back. So, you can exploit this fight if you have a ranged attacker like Lyle. You can exploit this fight by not getting on the stairs. If you don't touch the stairs, they won't come after you. So what I ended up doing was positioning everyone, and I simply used Lyle to pick at some of the enemies before I went up there. So yeah, if you don't touch the stairs, the enemies won't come down. So I just slowly picked away at some of these enemies. It was a tedious process with Lyle. Because Lyle was only doing like 1 or 2 damage to these enemies. Well, he could do a lot to the Master Mages, because they're kind of glass cannons, but I'm just picking away at them. So, yet again, another reason why you want to have probably at least one ranged attacker. And I've seen in playthroughs where people will kind of poo-poo even like Lyle. In my opinion, Lyle's pretty good. I think when you get another weapon, Lyle will have even more range. So he has the highest range in the game. Lyle's pretty sweet. So I just kill that Master Mage. And then I basically have no choice but to go for it then. Because I can't get closer. And Lyle can only do like 1 damage to KANE. So it wouldn't be worth it. He'd be able to heal that damage. So I can't keep whittling him down. I'm just not strong enough. So after the Master Mage, I had no choice but to go up there and start doing my thing. Yep. So I think I hit him once, just to see what I would do to KANE. I figured it would just be 1 damage. Now, what was stupid, too, is I did 1 damage to KANE, and then the damn priest cast heal level 4 on him to heal 1 hit point, which takes up over half his magic, so the AI is just stupid. This game, it can still be challenging, but the AI is just not that great. I think they really improved the AI in Shining Force 2. Like, Shining Force 2 is not only the better game, it's more challenging because the AI is smarter. I don't know if it's likely not perfect, but it's smarter. Yep, I decided to go for it. Well, maybe not yet, but I have no choice but to go for it soon. Oh yeah, this is a nice spell that I learned that enhances defense and agility. So agility impacts how quickly your turn comes up. And how well you can dodge. Yep, with any of the knights, you want to keep the power spears, because it gives you an option to attack at range. So, the power spear is not as powerful, but again, it allows you to attack at range. So, having every one of your knights, you want to keep that spear around, and it gives them that option to attack at 2 spaces. Now, some people Would rather have another slot for an item, but since I have healers, that's less important. So, in some playthroughs that they might have one healer or no healers, but I'll try to see if I can have 2 healers.
Yeah, Dwarven power. Yeah.
Alright. Could level up too. So an ability of the Sword of Darkness, you can cast D-Soul, which has a chance to completely kill whatever you're targeting. So Blue died, but he doesn't need it. He can one-shot anyone, so if he uses D-Soul, there's a chance it'll miss. In fact, a decent chance. So he'd be better off just attacking. But that's an ability of the Sword of Darkness. You can find the Sword of Darkness later in the game, and it's tied for the Chaos Breaker as being the most powerful weapon, and you get it sooner, but it's cursed. And I still haven't quite figured out what curse does, so I'm gonna try to find out. I'm gonna try to test it out and find out what a cursed item does, because I've seen so much conflicting evidence about what happens when you equip a cursed item. Like I think what it does, it'll either damage you or it'll prevent you from taking a turn. So on occasion it'll paralyze you. I do know that once you equip a cursed item, you can't remove it unless you have a priest. You have to pay a priest to heal your curse, which then allows you to remove the item, I guess. So you can't even remove a cursed item unless you do that. It's kind of weird, but I'm determined to find out kind of what exactly does curse do, because I'm really curious. So I guess that makes sense, because this is a 30-year-old game. That information on this game will be scant. So I'm gonna find out for you guys what a cursed item does, and I'll do an appropriate skit for it, for when I equip the cursed item. Yeah. So there'll be some cursed items at the conclusion of Battle 21. This is Battle 19. Definitely some cursed items in there, so we'll find out for Battle 22 what a cursed item does. Hell, I might even equip it in the middle of the Battle 21, I don't know, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah, dwarven power. Alright, my mask is breaking.
Whoa, where am I? I remember now. Dark Soul masked my face to control me. What have I done? He even made me fight you. Forgive me, Max Stone. It seems that Dark Soul is behind all the evil afoot. Stop him and it ends. In any case, let's take another look at this village. Check the shrine again. So KANE is good. He was simply being controlled. Just like in Final Fantasy IV, the Dragoon KANE was controlled by Golbez. If you ever played Final Fantasy IV, aka Final Fantasy II, for the American Super Nintendo. This door will only open for 2 heroes. Please, Max Stone, come with me to the door. We must stop Dark Soul at any cost. I want revenge for what he has done to me. We must keep that manual from him. Two heroes. I have waited long for such as you.
Ah, KANE. Feeling more like yourself now, are you?
This is the end, Dark Soul. Max Stone, get out now. You'll only be destroyed if you stay.
No, KANE. I can't let Max Stone go. Now that I have what I wanted, I have no further need of him. For you see, dear friends, I have both the key and the manual. Dark Dragon will soon be free again. Yes. Yes. Yes!
Go, Max Stone, run. I'll deal with Dark Soul. No, KANE! No! No, KANE! No! Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap up Battle 19. One of the toughest boss battles. Aw, yeah.